ideas in terms of how they're approaching it. If Dust 2 falls flat for Nine Panthers, I don't know if they could actually do enough to push it towards that third and final. So ultimately for me, it does really feel like that Dust 2 is going to be very important. Of course, hence where we're starting as we're flying around here. So I'm looking towards that map in particular to be the one that makes or breaks this series a lot. I feel like if we can get Dust 2, then that third map is going to be required, but it's the if, right? If we can get there. So we shall see. We shall see. But, you know, a big game. And kind of where we're at as well, you know, we're talking about VRS quite a lot. This matchup, last time I checked it a little bit earlier today, it was if Paravision win this, they got 13 places in VRS, which is actually kind of wild.
Yeah. And I can see them certainly winning it, to be honest, you know, when you consider that. So I think if you play your cards right and you're in the right tournaments and whatnot, then maybe, you know, building yourself up in that VRS and whatnot is not as difficult as you might think. So, you know, the NIPs of the world might need to take a little bit of a look and unfortunately might need to, you know, really move down a few brackets, play in like ESCA again and everything. You know, it might be a long journey for them, but if they are sort of serious about the project, it's potentially what you've got to do here to survive. So, yeah, it does feel like placing-wise, sure, that's just the way the system works. But in terms of who's on these teams and the current run of form and whatnot, you kind of expect Paravision to have a bit of that upper hand here today. Again,
yes, as
we've touched on, as is evident as well, map pool-wise, it does feel like it just favours Paravision ever so slightly here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. So, where we're at, I think for now, Paravision, at least for my money, are the favourites coming in towards this one. I've really enjoyed what I've seen from them. They've looked fantastic, and I do, you know, continue to expect really, really big things out for them throughout this season. So we'll have to see. Nine Panthers, they're no joke of a side themselves, but they've got a really, really hard run to make this stick for them. I think, you know, they've had to, I guess, prove to a lot of people sort of that the changes they were making are the right changes, and that this is a side with, you know, a lot in their own regard to offer up. But for me, I've definitely been concerned a decent amount when I've watched Nine Panthers. You can see there's moments where they look a little shaky, you know, a little bit on edge. They're very reliant on their riflers to step up in a big way. Of course, Rest Salt has been taking kind of a lot of that as well. And I'd be also interested to see who Nine Panthers are playing with. You know, they've obviously been going through a couple of changes in their own regard, a couple of stand-ins here and there, just to, I guess, maybe change things up and test things out. But as a whole, there's a side who obviously are in a position at the moment where they're trying to find this full lineup, and it's not going so smoothly to plan. I think comparatively to Paravision as well, which is, it's a hard team to be compared to.